Tides of Annihilation gets a big leak. Xbox hardware in some pretty big trouble, and we'll also be talking about a new Halo update. All that and more in today's video. Please like the video, subscribe to never miss a gaming update, and share the video to help grow our community. We'll also be going over comment of the day. Be sure to leave a comment as you could be featured in the next video. Now let's talk about this Tides of Annihilation leak that comes from Lunatic Ignis, who says there will be a co-op mode announced this year. Gamescom 2025 presents with new 2-minute and 40-second trailer, playable demo in Q4 2025. The project was allegedly greenlit in November of 2021. Tencent owns 90% of the game. The expansion is in the works, and the release date is currently set for September to October 2026, so sometime next year. And that is all he's given out as far as information for this game. Now, Tides of Annihilation was a pretty good looking game, at least from what I saw in the trailers that we've seen, and it looks pretty awesome. But again, we haven't seen too much, so this upcoming Gamescom looks like where we'll probably get more information, especially with a 2-minute and 40-second trailer, as well as a playable demo happening sometime this year, apparently in Q4. It's pretty awesome to think that, yeah, they're going to deliver that. Now, if that actually does happen, I think this could allow us an opportunity to get our hands on it and see what this game is actually like. Now, this game looked pretty awesome for me from the beginning. I know a lot of my community also did find some interest in this game, so I think that a lot of us will be looking out for updates on this, especially a demo for us to play, which, again, is exciting because it gives us a hands-on, tangible experience that a lot of us want. You know, trailers are great, but when you finally get to play a game, it's really something different, right? It allows you a better understanding, right? Just the same way we say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Actually playing the game is infinitely more valuable than seeing a trailer because you get your hands-on experience. So hopefully they'll deliver that for us, and we'll be able to play that game sometime this year, at least the demo sometime this year. And then apparently they're really having quite high hopes for this project, especially if they're already planning expansions, which one might ask, well, why are you planning expansions when the game is not even out yet? And could that be something you'd fit in? But then again, that's a conversation for another day. Let me know if you guys are excited for Tides of Annihilation. What do you think of this information? Do you think it's legitimate, or are you feeling a little skeptical about all this? Let me know down below. Now, next we're talking about Xbox hardware, and apparently it's dead, according to former executive Laura Fryer, who worked on the team in creating Microsoft's original console, right? And they also executive produced the first 2 Gears of War titles. And she has shared her very disappointing opinions of Microsoft's strategy for gaming, highlighting that Xbox hardware may as well be dead from her point of view after the announcement of the handheld made by Asus. In a video analysis titled The Future of Xbox, she lamented that they are leaving behind everything that made the brand great, adding that there's no real reason to buy the ROG Xbox Ally, given that all the games are going to be available on plenty of other devices anyway, from PC to rival consoles. Now, of course, this conversation has basically been a big plague on the community, right? People arguing that, oh my god, Xbox is still alive. They've got new hardware and consoles coming. And then other people saying, hey, these are handheld PCs. This is not the same thing. They are not creating the traditional console. Therefore, Xbox is planning their exit out of the hardware game, at least as far as the traditional method goes. And I think that there's a lot of points to be made as far as this goes. But I want to quickly go over a few points that she made in her big video. Obviously, we're not going to cover the entirety of it, but just the things that I felt were pretty important. She says in quotes, "It's 1 year from the 25th anniversary of the Xbox, and it looks like they are abandoning pretty much everything that made the Xbox brand great in the first place. Let's start with the handheld announcement. I've seen mixed reactions, and that has me really puzzled because I don't see any reason why anyone would buy this piece of hardware. Just like the original Xbox, it's built on Windows, a slimmed down version of Windows, but it's still Windows, so this isn't something new. And of course, we've all discussed this before, those of us that are in the know as far as what the original Xbox was and what they had built up until now. And yeah, it was always a slimmed down version of Windows. I mean, it's hard not to see that, especially in the later versions of the Xbox consoles that they brought out. She goes on to say, and of course, delivering a killer game in a reasonable time frame isn't something Xbox is particularly good at right now. During the showcase, there were several games still in development that weren't even mentioned, like State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, and Fable, and many of these games have been in development over 5 years. There's only one reason these games are behind. It's because Xbox has lost their culture of shipping at scale. They don't have the people or the process in place that can ship, and it's a shame because they used to do better than anyone in the business. And so if she's saying, they used to, she's probably referring to 360 era, where they were putting out a lot of exclusives for the first few years, man. That first half of the 360 generation, they put out a ton of exclusives, a lot of games very, very quickly, and it was quite impressive. So she's not wrong about that. It was very, very, pacing-wise, they were very, very good. But as of today, not so much. We've had a lot of delays as far as Xbox games goes. I know that a lot of people argue the Activision side of things, Bethesda side of things, that, hey, we see Call of Duty every year, right? Like, I get that aspect of it, but when we look at, especially these studios that were really under the Xbox umbrella, not talking about ABK or Bethesda, yeah, they don't really put out games at a steady pace. They don't. State of Decay 3, 5 years. Perfect Dark, 5 years. Fable, my God, Fable is still in development and was delayed again. And it's just one of these things where it's like, what are we doing here, right? Like, is this game going to see the light of day or not? And then they give us release years, and it's like, get our hopes up, and then they delay it anyway. So I get what she's saying. She's right. And I will talk more about it, but let's go over her last statement. She says, I don't love watching all of the value that I helped create slowly get eroded away. I'm sad because from my perspective, it looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore. So this partnership is about a slow exit from the hardware business completely. Personally, I think Xbox hardware is dead. The plan appears to be to just drive everybody to Game Pass. And from the beginning, I was saying this. I said, Game Pass is their platform. Before we even got the Xbox Series S and X, like officially they launched, I was saying that this is what is happening. That Game Pass is their platform. That's what they want to do. They want that to be it. And it's very clear that that's the way. And when I hear from somebody who was a part of founding the Xbox platform, it speaks volumes to me, because we're not talking about somebody who has no attachment to the brand or to what Xbox is. This is somebody who founded it. Like, they created the hardware, man. And like, when you hear that from somebody who is this close to the products that were made, you think, wow, like, really, we're not crazy for thinking that Xbox has truly gone off rails and started doing things that don't really resonate with what the Xbox message was, right? Things have changed so much. As far as, is this next Xbox a console? What is it? I mean, it's quite clear that it's a PC, all right? Whether you go from the Xbox Ally, which is basically a rebranded ROG Ally. I know people like it's co-developed, whatever you want to say. It is an ROG Ally rebranded as an Xbox product and running a better version of Windows, right? That's exactly what it is. It's hard to say it's anything other than that, and especially when it gets in our hands, like on mass level, mass scale, you will see more of exactly why it's the same. When they tear it down and they show side by side and they show all the stuff, I think it's going to speak volumes as to how similar the Asus one is and this Xbox branded Asus one is. And I think that's truly going to show us the similarities here. As far as these consoles that are going to come out, again, it seems very, very shady as far as what their plans are. It seems like these are going to be, again, PC-based consoles, like as far as like Windows-based consoles that pretty much emulate what a PC is in a small form factor box. Whether this will be a huge runaway success or not, it's hard to say. I think it's crazy that a lot of these people I see online just jump right onto it and say, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, yeah, well, you guys say that about everything Xbox does, and it just doesn't pan out to be that way. So maybe we should wait and give it a chance and see what they actually do, because we don't have all the information in front of us. And that's generally how I feel. I feel like we should wait, see what they do, see what Xbox is truly intending with this new hardware before we praise it. Because I feel like when you praise things before you even really have an idea of what it is, you're putting yourself in a pretty dangerous situation, especially amongst community where they're going to scrutinize you for praising something that probably didn't end up being as good as you thought it was going to be, or how great you really keep claiming it's going to be. So again, I remain reserved on what I think will be happening. I think that these are definitely steps to exit the industry. as far as I can tell, as far as what I believe is happening. I don't think Xbox is going to be doing what people think they're going to be doing as far as this new pieces of hardware. Like, are they going to really be committed hardcore to it? Maybe if it continues to sell really well, or if they keep selling 30 to 40 million units. I don't know that that'll be the case, but time will tell. Let's see what happens. I want you guys to tell me what you think about all this. This was a long segment, but I mean, there's a lot to cover. Let me know what you guys think about this next-gen hardware coming from Xbox and this Xbox Ally. Is it a console? Is it a PC? What is it? Let me know down below. Now, lastly, let's talk about Halo Studios, and they are teasing a new announcement. In a blog post, Halo Studios has suggested that it will show more of what it's been working on at the next HWC, which takes place in Seattle on October 24th, ahead of the franchise's 25th anniversary next year. In quotes, last year at Halo WC, we premiered A New Dawn, where we talked about the switch to Unreal Engine, gave you a behind-the-scenes look at Project Foundry, and debuted our evolution to Halo Studios. As we enter a new chapter for Halo, for us, A New Dawn was just the beginning at this year's Halo WC. We look forward to continuing the conversation. Speculation is always fun, but if you want the official scoop on what Halo Studios has been working on, you won't want to miss this year's Halo World Championship. We really hope you'll join us in Seattle this October. So it seems they're teasing that they're going to reveal something as far as a big announcement for their next project. And I think that, they're probably going to reveal, hey, we're working on a new game. It's called Halo New Dawn or something like that. And I think it's probably going to be a reboot. I do think it's going to be a complete reboot of the franchise. And I think this is the game that people are speculating is being uploaded to the PlayStation backend servers, because I really think that they're going to launch this time day and date, especially if they got a multiplayer suite in there. I think they're going to want to get as many people on board as possible, probably try to reignite the Halo fandom that is basically died down a lot. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it's nowhere near what it was in the Xbox and Xbox 360 generation. That has pretty much become like 10% of what it was at best. So I think that this time around, they're going to want to drop it on everything possible. And I think that's what they're going to do. As far as this game, I hope that they do deliver. I am a big fan of Halo. I'm disappointed where it's gone as far as how bad 5 was and how bad Halo Infinite was. As far as narrative goes, right? The narrative just crumbled. As far as multiplayer goes, I mean, it's not this new inventive way. I thought Halo 5 multiplayer was good, but Halo Infinite just didn't do it for me. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't click for me. So I'm hoping that with A New Dawn, it goes back to its roots. Hopefully it delivers a satisfying experience, not just narratively speaking, but also from a multiplayer perspective, which I believe they can do. I believe they can do. With the right loving care and understanding of what the community wants, they can certainly deliver a good experience. Just do not do Halo Infinite again. That one forest environment was just so ass. It was just not what I wanted from Halo Infinite. Sure, big sandbox, that's great, but if the environments all look the same, it gets tiring. So hopefully they'll deliver with the next Halo entry. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for the next Halo game? Will you buy it if it comes to PS5? Let me know down below. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about comment of the day. And as always, if you want to be featured on the next video, be sure to leave a comment, as you could be featured in the next video. Now, at Jacob Weicker 6857, which I've used before, but I don't know, this comment is just, I like it. He says, 2026 looks to be another massive year for gaming, too much to handle again like this year. And you know what? Honestly, you're right. 2026 is going to be absolutely stacked as far as people who own multiple platforms. And even if you just own one platform, if you're just on a PS5, man, you got a lot to play. Just looking at Grand Theft Auto 6, right? One of the biggest games of this generation, probably for the next 2 decades, is dropping next year, allegedly, or at least what Rockstar wants us to believe. So it's supposed to be coming, and it's going to be a massive title. And then we have also got other games cooking as well, right? We're expecting possibly Wolverine, possibly Intergalactic. We've also got some other games coming as well from third-party studios that really stack up an already great year, with Resident Evil Requiem, The Dusk Bloods, 007 First Light. Ikuma, The Frozen Compass, Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy, Onimusha, Way of the Sword. There are just so many games that, I mean, we could go on for a while, right? Immortal Shell 2, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake, Game of Thrones, A War for Westeros. Like, there's a lot. Neo 3, it's Saros. Like, there's so many games. Allegedly Fable again. We'll see. We'll see if Fable makes 2026 because it didn't make 2025. But there's a lot. There's a lot coming. Like, I'm sure I've forgotten tons of games, but a lot is happening in 2026, and we don't even know all the games just yet, right? With GTA being confirmed for 2026, a lot of companies are going to hold back their release dates to see what happens there because they probably want to avoid it. But hopefully we'll see some great drops in 2026, but 2025 looks freaking awesome, so I can't wait. And especially Tides of Annihilation allegedly happening in 2026 as well. Let me know down below what you're looking forward to the most in 2026. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on a road to 20K subscribers. Please help us hit that goal by the end of the year. I appreciate everyone who does it. And if you want to go a little bit further and support the channel an extra step, we do have memberships starting at $1.99 a month. With that, you get some pretty cool perks and some early access content as well. Thank you guys for all the support. Really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you all on the next one. Take care.